Yeah, you guys just want to go over a couple positions here after the close. Didn't really get to touch on last night, but Google today had a good move. Earnings are what, next week? So I actually took some off. We held pi when we came back down here on the daily chart. This was your buying opportunity. We nibbled here and bought more here, and then been piecing out. So I sold out of my 725 calls I had out in September. There's still a small position that I'm going to keep on through earnings. I think I have the 760 or 770 calls. Let's double check that. Yeah, 770 calls. So I'll just hold those through earnings. Either way, if it gets back knocked down on earnings, anything below 700, I'm going to be repositioning for the long term. So I think tech traded pretty well today. It probably continues. I mean, Apple's overbought over the intermediate term. I'm actually a seller back here towards the 200. We're back here into pi. This is just a big picture range trade, so 90 or anything below, I'm a buyer, and then I actually want to be short anything above the 200 period here. NXPI is another technology name I like. It really hasn't participated in the rally as well. We bought here, and again, hasn't really done much. It's struggling to get above the 30-day, so it's an okay place to take some profits, but that's a longer term core position for us, so nothing to get really excited about till it gets back above pi here, 90. These are the long-term lower highs on the weekly and monthly level. Amazon strong. Not going to really do much there for our earnings, I don't think. If we get another 2 to 3 day drop, we're probably going to get a little bit long. Amazon. If you get into the financials, still bearish. The financials, this is CIBC. It hasn't done really just, I mean, it has struggled to even get back to the 30-day here. So this is actually in a downturn. You can see how the bands are starting to roll over. And then this also looks a lot like the rest of the market did here after Brexit, but for CIBC, if it cracks this low, there's a lot of hot air underneath here, back into the mid 60s. And then if we look at the overall indexes, I like being short Germany. I didn't sell any today, but you could re-short Germany, the DAX, however you're playing it. The real sell zone's back here, 25, 26. Same kind of thing in France. France is still a disaster. That's one of my favorite places to be short. The same thing. You get up here into 24, 24 and a half. That's where we're going to be a seller. Financials, kind of just hanging out here up at pi, but this is still a bearish chart overall. You have prices in the southern hemisphere. Had a nice downtrend to start the year. And then it looked like we were going to roll over again. We made some pretty good covers in here, around 22. And I'm actually going to get more short tomorrow. I'll be a seller all the way back. I mean, even if we get back to 32, 34, that's kind of unlikely. We'll see. If we look at the overall index, these are the highs we're kind of watching, 24. It's going to be tough for financials to probably get above that level. JP Morgan, no, I don't really want to be really like being short JP Morgan. I think there's a lot of European names that make more sense. Here's the European financial ETF. You can see how it can't even regain the 30-day. Not a bad instrument to buy some puts on. Also, if you want to express a bearish position as far as Europe goes. Kinder Morgan had some questions about reshorting it. You can here. I mean, this thing is just so oversold that it could probably bounce a little bit further. If you get a 24, 25 handle on Kinder Morgan, definitely want to sell into that. I have some puts. I think we have earnings on the 20th, so I'm actually not sure how I want to play it just yet. You can see here on the daily we're pretty high within the cycle. The weekly level, I mean, this is definitely levels where you want to think about getting short again. Here's that same area on the upper part of the bands, 24, 25. So keep an eye on that for Kinder Morgan. Potash has been this is a name we've kind of, I missed a lot of the reflation trade in February, which was fine to me because I was had a pretty strong opinion about deflation overall, and I still think we're in the later innings of deflation, so I'm not really that crazy about chasing long commodities, especially as long as the dollar index holds 92. We can take a look at that in a second, but pot on the weekly level looks fine. It's still basing, but once it starts to take out these highs, there's a lot of room for it to move back into $22, $25 area. So that's a name we're long. I haven't. It's just basing. It's really in the 15 to 18 handle range. So I missed the chance to buy it back down here again. Now you can see we're at the top of the range. The last couple times we rallied up into 18, I sold. I took off some calls. So you can just trade it around, but long term I think that's one that is going to do fine. I think this is probably done. The next move is probably back up into the $20, $30 area. If we get into the metals, this is another one of our favorite names, Silver Wheaton. This has been a great move. It's overbought now. I bought some gold futures today. Obviously they're kind of trading in step with each other as they normally do. But if you get a pullback, here's the 30-day and Silver Wheaton, $22, $23 area. I'll put some more back on. This would be a gift down here, 16, 18. You would really need silver futures to get back down around 17, 16 for that to happen. So I think that'll be pretty tough to do. If you look at about halfway up from this move, 50% retrace is all around 18.5. Again, the 30-day there is 1840. That's coming up to the same location. So that's what I want to do on silver. Same thing in gold. Should probably get a higher low here. I bought a little bit late in the day, and I'm waiting to add. What I want to see is the first green bar take out this prior day's high, and then I'll double my position. See if we can get another move, at least to retest the old highs, if not make new higher highs. Oil had a pretty good call. I still was thinking we can test 43 on an intermediate term basis. Just been trading it around here. I'm short for 48.5, so we're kind of in the middle of this range. So we'll keep an eye out there. That's kind of in the middle. I don't see a real good edge on oil. Long bond back to levels where you want to buy around this 200 period moving average on the 4-hour chart. We're also back down here towards pi on the 4-hour. If you look at the daily, again, you're back here at the 30. So this is the good location for where you should probably get a higher low in the context of this uptrend. And I'll just get it even heavier if we get any kind of move back in here to 167.5. Not doing anything on the short side in bonds. Sometimes I'll play 2s or 5s against my long. Had you had some curve on, being a bond trader, I used to trade the yield curve. So if you're selling the front end and buying the long end or the back end of the curve, that's a flattener. But if you were to sell 5s pretty well up here, which was the top end of the range, is basically the highs from all year, you would be covering some back at these levels. But don't be shorting 5s or 2s down here. You can see 2-year futures. But it's the same thing. It's just oversold. So I'd rather be long 10s, rather be long 30s. You can express that with TLT. Same thing. This is back towards the bottom of the intermediate term risk range. You want to be a buyer. So that's probably one of the best looking charts. TLT. We'll take a look at GLD. In the overall indexes, stocks just keep plugging higher. Just a nasty short squeeze after making new lower lows. I was just nasty. So I have some puts here. I sold into this 20 area. I took the risk off around when we got through 2050. It's not working playing out on the short side. I'd rather just buy bonds to express the growth slowing gross slowing view. Dow futures look the same. The Nikkei is, I'm short. It's not really doing much. I think tonight's session and in tomorrow will be interesting. If you get a move up into 17,000, 1750 up in this area, you want to be a seller. That's the top end of our risk range there on the daily chart. Let's see what else. The dollar. The dollar, this is strong. So this Brexit move, you can if you color this in, this is one giant candle. These 3-4 day up move. That's just one giant bullish footprint by the bulls showing the real money. So the fact that price is just sliding sideways, staying in the top 1/3 of this candle, that's bullish. So look for the dollar if it starts to break out above 97 on the DXY here. You can start thinking about a move at least to 98.5, even probably back to the highs of this year around 99. So that obviously is going to coincide with the euro needing to break down below 110 really to crack 109. And then you're going to probably see some follow through and some momentum names, and the technical momentum algos will probably start to hit them down also. This is a pretty prominent higher low. That's the Brexit move lower. So if we take that out, then we're going to be pretty much in a clear downtrend on the daily and weekly level. And that should push DXY back towards the highs from earlier this year, and that would be the lows back here in the euro. Dollar yen. Yen was pretty strong coming into, pretty much the last couple of weeks. Then we got an oversold relieving rebound on dollar yen. So I'll look for the yen to actually strengthen from here. I sold some. You got this lower highs around 106.08. You do kind of have a double bottom at par or 100. So kind of shorten aggressively after this type of move lower. It's just a little bit late in the move. I mean, anytime you start making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lower lows, arguably 6 lower lows, you're getting anytime you get past 4 count, it's just similar to Elliott wave. You're getting pretty lengthy as far as the trend. So you need to think about a counter trend move. Most of the pain would probably be a full retracement of this move net down all the way back to 110, 111. But I'll play it short here, and then if we get a failure and kind of crack the 8-day and take out these prior day lows up around 106, then I'll lean on it and see if we can get a move back to 102, 100 area. Pound yen, same thing. This was pretty oversold. We're getting your oversold relieving bounce. This is about halfway with the 30 days, so I actually look for a lower high here. I'm short intermediate term, and I'm just waiting to add. I like how this is kind of this cycle has rolled over, so we'll see if we can get some follow through there. And then lastly, let's just do dollar CAD. It's gone nowhere. Clearly just basing within a range. Let's do a couple more. Euro versus New Zealand. You have same thing. This isn't the start of a nice downtrend, so you want to be reselling this bounce. Again, it's at the top end of the cycle. I'll probably sell some tonight, even in tomorrow, but this is their whole sell zone right back in here. That is pretty good carry also. So I think that pretty much does it. So for more updates like this, our active trader guys are going to have updates like this throughout the week. They have analysis they get weekly, and then this is the type of a thing we'll do also on the higher time frame charts, the weekly and monthly level for those that are, again, in our investor services, which is for the longer term investor. But you can check us out at, my company's Jenkins Risk Management. The website's jenkinsrm.com. Twitter handles the Jason Jenkins, and we have a live chat room. We're growing a pretty good team of traders, equity traders, a lot of forex guys and gals. So you can join the room there. Everything's on the site. and look forward to working with anybody and all that happen to come through. All right.